I didn't have the best test scores, I wasn't really a fantastic athlete, and I didn't always have straight A's. But I still managed to get over $78,000 in college scholarships. Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Marissa here. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to earn free money for college. In other words, how to apply for, get, and receive college scholarships. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Marissa. I upload weekly lifestyle and beauty related videos to my channel, but right now there are a lot of college related videos if you would be interested. But if you are new here, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe for more videos just like these, and of course leave some nice comments down below. You can also follow my social medias, which are always linked in the description box below. I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I managed to get this free money for college, and I figured this would be a great video to share with you guys, especially if you're going into your senior year of high school, because that is pretty much when you have to apply for them. It's kind of a lot to do with your schoolwork, with your extracurriculars, so time management is going to be your best friend. Let's just go ahead and get right into my advice, and as always, I will be using my iPad for my notes if I'm looking down. That is why. Before we do actually get into the video, I just want to do a little disclaimer. I am not trying to brag at all about what I have earned. I'm just trying to share information with you guys and share advice based on my experience, because I was not expecting this at all going into my senior year of high school, and I'm just trying to show you what the possibilities are for going to college and paying for college if you, like myself, are someone who cannot afford it and are even wondering if you're going to be able to go because of financial aspects. So basically, I personally earned just about 12 scholarships to be attending college. Some of them are 4 years, some of them are 1 year, some of them are through the college itself, some of them are merit from the college. I'm going to be talking about all of that, but yeah, I pretty much earned 12 in total, and they are about like $78,000 over the course of 4 years of college. I don't know how I did it. So before we actually get started into the advice, I want to kind of explain the terminology I'm going to be talking about. So first, you have college scholarships and you have external scholarships. So what your college scholarships are, those are scholarships that come directly from the college that you're going to be attending. You are chosen for those scholarships when you apply to that school. So basically, your college merit or financial aid awards from colleges are normally strictly based on your QPA and your test scores. Now, I was one of those people who had a great QPA. I got a few B's here and there every year, but test scores was not me. I would just not go at standardized tests. I went to prep classes at my school. It didn't help me. I studied like crazy. It was just kind of to the point that I had a good enough score to get into college. If I didn't get extra money for it, it wasn't a huge deal to me. External scholarships are things that you apply for with a separate application that you have to submit documentation with. It's normally some kind of business or some kind of organization. Walmart gives them, Burger King, Wendy's, and then normally schools have local organizations that also give scholarships every single year. My school personally has a lot of those organizations, so hopefully your school is kind of similar, but if not, there are tons of national scholarships you can also apply for, which I personally did and was shook by the results. So my number one piece of advice is just to apply for everything, because you literally never know what can honestly happen. And I personally applied for this one scholarship on a limb. It was a national scholarship. It was for the Horatio Alger Association. I applied for it on a limb. I didn't think I was going to get anything for it, and I came out of it with $10,000. I think I was the first person in my school's history to receive that scholarship, so it was a super cool one. Even if you think yeah, I don't have the best QPA, my test scores are crap, I have no service, just apply, because you literally never know. I want to also really touch on super quickly the things that are considered when you're applying for these external scholarships. So first of all, your GPA is pretty important, I'm not gonna lie to you, but even if you aren't a straight A student, you can still totally get them. Also, your income level, also really considered. They want to give their money obviously to someone who can use their money and not someone who doesn't really need it. That is also heavily considered, but if you are on the higher end of the spectrum, don't let it discourage you from applying, because you never know, they might still give it to you. If you are on the lower end of the income level like myself, it works out for you in your favor, but it is not the only thing considered as well. Community service and a strong activity sheet is also super important. If you don't know what I mean by an activity sheet, I basically mean a resume. and on your resume or activity sheet it should say all your community service activities, all of your activities you did in high school, like your clubs, your sports, musical, chorus, band, that kind of thing. It should say that, and then any offices that you held in any of those organizations as well. Also your major and what college you're going to can also be a factor. There were some scholarships that I personally couldn't apply for because they wanted people to go to certain colleges. That was one. And then certain majors also had a lot of certain scholarships as well. Diversity, especially in these larger national competitions, they are looking for a diverse group of students. They do, unless there are speculations, some do have speculations for they want like a certain race, a certain ethnicity, or a certain background. But for the most part, a lot of them do want a diverse group of recipients. And then also your test scores, normally you do have to submit them, but I don't think they're really looked at that much. And also your letters of recommendations. I personally recommend getting at least 2 letters. I personally had 2, and then there was one scholarship that I applied for that I needed 3, so I had to just ask someone to make one really quickly for me. So those are pretty much like all of the aspects. Oh, and your essay. My next tip, since you're going to be applying for literally every scholarship, is to create one strong essay that can easily be adjusted for multiple scholarship applications. Pretty much a lot of scholarship applications ask you for information about yourself. Highlight your activities, highlight your service projects. I personally did a Day of Kindness service project where I delivered Valentine's Day cards to special needs children in my school district, in my community. It was part of my Distinguished Young Women service project thing. I had that in every single essay that I did because it was a huge thing, and that was also a huge service project that I did by myself, and I organized the entire thing, so I wanted to highlight that in every essay. I also touched on other organizations that I volunteered for, such as like the Salvation Army, World Vision, some local things as well. Also talked about some of my favorite activities, like my sports, like I did tennis and cheerleading. Just highlight yourself, talk about yourself, kind of brag a little bit, just make yourself sound really good, basically is what I'm trying to say. If you create one strong essay that really encompasses you and some things that you're going to have to like answer certain questions, you can kind of incorporate those questions into your essay elsewhere. Now, someone told me to do this and I didn't listen. Basically, I was doing so much that I kind of got to the point like, oh, I'm just gonna use that essay because that's pretty much the same thing. So even if you don't make one strong essay, you're going to get to that point eventually. My next piece of advice is to proofread your essays or anything you are submitting to the committee. Have a teacher do it, put it through Grammarly real quick, just make sure it's proofread and that they can read what you are saying, basically is what I'm trying to say. My 4th piece of advice is to double check the required documentation needed, because some things you're going to need tax forms to prove your income. You're also going to need activity sheets, a certain amount of letters of recommendation. Literally every scholarship in the world is different. Just double check what you need, make sure you have it all in order, paperclip it, put it in that vanilla envelope, turn it into your counselor or mail it out yourself. If you forget something also, your application might just be thrown out the window. My next piece of advice is do not let any rejection discourage you. I was like at a point for a while that like I kept getting scholarships. I got like my first rejection letter and I was like so crushed by it, and like I totally understand being upset because like you did work hard on it, you spent time on it, but don't let it discourage you. I didn't let it discourage me, but I know some people, they were like, oh, I didn't get this one, so I'm not applying for this one because I'm not gonna get it anyway. And like I said, you literally never know. Like literally every scholarship looks for different things in their candidates. So my 6th piece of advice is to get your letters of recommendation early. I recommend getting them honestly as soon as school starts. Like if you know like your principal really well or like certain teachers that you want to write you letters, get them earlier rather than later because you're gonna eventually need them. And you don't want to be like waiting to turn in an application because they haven't given you their letter yet. 7th piece of advice is to turn your applications in ASAP. I was kind of guilty of not doing this. I personally turned them in like right at the deadline. Turn them in, get them done as soon as you can. You will be so much less stressed out. If they're in late, like they won't accept them. Like they normally have to be postmarked by a certain day, or if they are online, they can see when you turn it in, so make sure you turn it in at the right time. Also, really quick note, also check your email, and whatever email you put on these applications, make sure it is clear, make sure it is spam free, and check it all the time because they might send you like, hey, like this is missing from your application, like can you send us this, like we need it for judging. I didn't check my email that much until like I realized how important it was, and they might notify you if you won them in your emails as well. Also, search your college that you're going to for extra scholarships. I happen to just be googling extra scholarships through my college, and I found one for College of Communication and Information, and it was the first year they were doing the scholarship. So basically I had to like make like a website portfolio, submit an essay on why I deserve the scholarship, and then I did it. I went out with my business. I worked really long and hard on it. I literally worked on that website since December, like during Christmas break. And then it was actually tech week for my musical, which would have been like the last week in March, and then my mom called me. She's like, hey, I got a letter from Kent, like, do you want me to open it? And I was like, yeah, like, that's fine. It's probably just something stupid from, like, I don't know, the admissions office, something. I don't really know. I always got, like, a lot of junk mail, so I was like, yeah, go ahead, open it. And then she was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what are you oh my goshing about? And she was like, you got $25,000 extra from Kent State just because I did that scholarship. And I was, like, literally shaking. I was like, oh, wow. I ended my essays always by like with something kind of like inspirational and uplifting. And I also received this other scholarship for reading pieces of everyone's essays like out loud, and I was like, oh, like what are they gonna read from mine? And mine was last because I was actually their valedictorian scholar, meaning I was the top recipient of that scholarship. I talked about how like everything happens for a reason, everyone is here for a reason, or how like life is given to each of us and that we should like do the most with it and make the most of our lives, like obviously. But I just kind of ended with like that inspirational message, and I think it really stuck in people's minds because like the guy even said that he was a judge for the scholarship. He said this like excerpt stuck in my mind coming from an 18-year-old senior in high school. Have some kind of a hook either in the beginning or ending of your essay, I think would be good to really like make them remember your essay and your application. I think that is another good piece of advice. So just really quickly, in case you guys were wondering, I want to touch on like some of the other national scholarships I received, just so you guys know they are out there. I received one from Walmart because my dad actually works for Walmart, so I received the Walmart Dependent Scholarship for $13,000, which was also a lot of money. I also received the NHS National Scholarship Award, and I was a semi-finalist, so I received $3,200 from NHS. I did apply for though. I applied for Burger King. I didn't get it. I applied for Wendy's High School Heisman, which is about athletics, so if you are an athlete, that is a good one to check out, and that application should open around like October. Yeah, so there are also like a lot of websites you can search scholarships on. I know Scholarship Owl is one, and I think the other one is like Fast Web Scholarships, and they have like really kind of like random things that like you can just submit like a little paragraph and then like you get the scholarship. It's kind of interesting. They also have like monthly drawings for like $5,000. But yeah, if you are a senior in high school, I wish you the best of luck in this process. It's kind of lengthy, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of a lot to take in at one time, but you'll be fine, you will navigate it, and you will do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really sincerely hope it was helpful for you, and if it was, please give me a thumbs up or leave some kind of comment down below telling me how it helped you. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, subscribe once again if you are new here, and check out some of my other videos in the cards above, and you can follow me on my social media, which are also linked down below. So I will see you guys in my next video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys, see ya!